Like you have a little twin, but it's actually indie growing out of your.
Like Andrea walks around wearing these really big baggy shirts, and then one day like, oh, the wind, like, and then like,
Yeah, you're just like, she's like, guys, I have to confess something to you. I actually have this puppy growing out of me.
no, but like there was an episode of a show that was like that the guy was talking to someone else, and the show made it seem like it was all in his head, but it turns out it was actually a thing growing out of his chest. It was like a not a Twilight Zone one, the one that was Tales from the Crypt. It was something like that, something super intensely scary. I was like,
Really? I don't remember that.
I gotta look it up.
That sounds like something up their alley, though.
It's real. It's real. Okay. Hi, Internet. Thanks for
Internet. I hope you're more awake than Indy is right now.
yeah. Sunday evening. Happy Valentine's Day, you guys.
Yay! I have your cards. I need to fill them in, and they're so cute. I bought them at that paper store that's next to the Green Light bookstore.
Oh, I love that place.
Yeah, so I went and bought 2 more pens, and then they had like an entire Valentine's Day cards section that's super cute. So I bought some there.
Okay.
You're gonna get 3 cards because it's Christina's birthday card that's belated, and then Valentine's Day cards.
Cool.
And then like un regalito de cumpleaños.
What address did you send it to?
No, I have to write them.
Oh, okay, good.
I have to write them and send them this week, so they'll hopefully get to you by.
I won't send them until I give you the new address. Because we're moving on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just update the document and let me know when it's ready.
I'll update the Google Doc.
Thank you. Because you know what, Internet? Real friends are organized.
That we share our addresses.
And have a Google Doc for relevant information.
Absolutely. Okay, so we also have a Google Doc for book club, which is what we're on right now. I suck at segues. And this is February's hangout for Crimson Hero. Mine's probably so much nicer than mine. Look at it. Mine's been through some shit.
Mine's been through a little bit of shit.
You got it used.
I guess, but man, Tashay,
I got it used as well.
Tashay is like almost new, and mine is like good.
Oh yeah, mine's lightly used.
Gotcha. Mine's like the little clear.
Oh no.
All right, so after last month's sexy sex games fest with Captain Fire,
Oh, I'm not over it.
So to give us a nice breather, Tashay chose super cute. Wanting for more, left me wanting more. I will be reading more later, but I couldn't. Since we are moving, so I didn't want to ship anything over here that would just arrive a month later, and someone be like, "What's these comic books?
Throw it in the trash. Who reads comics?"
I mean, if you would just do your mail forwarding already, then that wouldn't be an issue. Because
Tina, set up your mail forwarding.
I did the thing. It was like $1 or something.
You did it today?
Yeah, I did it this morning.
They'll send you a letter that has a bunch of coupons when you go to the new place. They always send like an envelope that'll be like, you moved to a new place. Here's like a bunch of discounts for Lowe's and Bed Bath & Beyond and like.
Is that where you got the Lowe's 10%?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Girl. Huh. Being an adult means liking coupons, yeah.
I tried to like get everyone in on the same thing, and they were like, if you have different last names, each person must be entered as an individual. Like, you can't be a family unless you share your last name.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I know.
It's fine. Eventually we will outgrow this pre-established notion of what family is.
Speaking of family, pretty bad at it.
No.
Okay, so you want to read us the...
So I have a sticker that's like blocking a chunk of the paragraph in the back.
I can help fill in the blanks.
Okay. Let's see. All right, Internet. So we read Crimson Hero, a shoujo beat manga by Mitsuba Takanashi. It's the story and art by Mitsuba Takanashi, so she's actually pretty talented, and I'm here for it. I support it 100%. I used to do a lot of manga when I was young, and so this was a nice throwback. And it was actually also part of the Read Harder Challenge for 2019.
Yeah, read a book of manga. That's what it says. And I'm like, oh, honey, who wrote this?
It's like, who did this? I did also have to remember the right way to read manga because you read it from left to right. Is the appropriate way to read it. So, internet, if you decide to actually give this a shot and you've never read a manga before, it's a really interesting way to challenge your brain too, to learn a different way to read a book.
Broaden your horizons.
Huh?
Yeah, I said broaden your horizons. Read a book, but like read one that's not your culture.
Exactly. Okay, so Crimson Hero. All that matters to 15-year-old Nobara Sumiyoshi is volleyball. She's an awesome player with big-time ambitions, but sometimes it seems like a girl just can't get a break in the competitive world of high school volleyball. Nobara's family wants her to inherit the role of young mistress, serving rich patrons at her family's old-fashioned Japanese restaurant. No thanks! When Nobara transfers to
Crimson Field High School,
known for its top-notch
volleyball team, it turns out
Go on.
that her mother will stoop to dirty tricks to keep her off the court.
With assistance from her feisty Aunt Momoko, who's got some connections at Crimson Field, Nobara decides to start playing offense.
Right. I didn't know the shape of the sticker, so I was like, I don't know if she only had.
It was horizontal, but then it was horizontal askew.
That's rude. Why would they do that?
There's a blank space right here.
There you go. Okay. Cool. Also, check out this sweet outfit. Oh my god, my teenage heart.
So when I first saw the back, I was like, "Oh, is that her love interest?" And then I was like, "Oh my god, she's such a tomboy," and my heart just fucking.
Coolest poof sweater. She's got a tattoo or something.
Yeah, which I think probably since Crimson Hero.
And she's got like these pants with like a decal on them.
So cute. She looks like the lead singer of Tokyo Hotel if he got a haircut.
Yeah.
She's so cute. I totally would have been like, am I gay? If I'd been in high school with this girl.
Yes.
like, oh, she dresses so cool. She's so good at volleyball. And every time I see her, it's like,
oh my god.
Realize. Okay, cool. So that is the summary. So guys, who wants to go first to talk about how they felt about the book?
Why look at me?
I don't know, man. I'm saying if you want to go first.
Sure. I really enjoyed the book overall. I actually had never read a manga until. Well, okay, that's not true. I've read mangas before, but they've been like manga versions of other things, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I have Don Quixote as a manga.
That's so cool.
I don't know. So anyway, until the end of last year, I had never, I think, read a manga that was like translated into English, but originally just like a real manga. And I read that one. I don't know if. Well, I know we talked about it. You saw it, but it's about a woman who has sex with a werewolf and then has like werewolf children.
What?
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was super cute. But so that was my first experience with a manga. So I was really, really excited that you picked one too. So I was like, yay! Like I want to read. I want to read like. I feel like the past 2 years I've really gotten into graphic novels, and now I want to like get into mangas too. I just love that they're so short, and it's such like a good break from like if you're reading something really dense, that it just provides like a really nice like I don't know. It's not that they're not as serious, but they're just easier.
Yeah,
to get.
It was a palate cleanser for me.
This one specifically, I think is great if you just want something kind of light and fluffy, like take to the beach, like not think too hard. It was really sweet. Except for some things that I had issues with. Within the first few pages, like someone like touches her boobs to see if she's a girl, and I was really disturbed by that. And then Kris was like, "No, this happens in manga all the time. It's like a super common trope."
I showed her what I have here, and it's like literally the second page.
Yeah, was like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. So that like kind of affected me, but then I got past it, and then I just was never okay with the aunt. Like,
Oh no.
so pervy. I don't.
Yeah. I wrote some questions to try to
We'll talk about it.
discuss later.
But yeah, other than that, and I in general enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3 stars. I gave it 4 stars.
I don't remember. Let me look it up.
I think I gave it 3 stars. I would continue reading it if I wouldn't necessarily buy the rest of the series, but if Kris bought it and had it lying around, I would read it.
Gotcha.
Like I'm not into volleyball, but I was really rooting for her.
Cool girl.
To
yeah, you gave it 3 stars.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Gosh, and I gave it 4.
I gave it 4.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it. I had never read anything like that before. Like I had never read a teen manga kind of thing. So yeah, the only thing I will say too is that I had a hard time in the beginning, like keeping straight who was supposed to be like a boy and who was supposed to be a girl, because everyone just has long hair, and I didn't realize like how much I depend on that with illustration. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the way they're drawn, they're everyone is just very androgynous, like everyone.
Yeah.
At least that's how it felt like to me. So I was like, oh, okay, I had to remind myself, okay, this is one of the kids who plays on the boys volleyball team, or like this is, because they all have very angelic
Feminine features.
Yeah.
It's
too for the decade that it was written in, you know,
yeah.
the really long eyes and the
and it also it's to appeal to like a specific audience. Like this is geared towards like younger. It's like how pop stars don't ever have body hair. Like there's a very androgynous look to a lot of, like for Gossip Girl, Penn Badgley had to wax his body every week because he was one of the main love interests, but the show was geared towards like junior high girls, and so they would wax him constantly because he had a lot of chest hair, but in order to be attractive to the audience, they had to wax him constantly.
That's weird. Also, you know, there was a kid at school that had a full beard in middle school. Don't you remember that kid?
Yeah, but that's like it's I feel like that has to do with like the group of people though, like Puerto Ricans, boys, you know.
No, but now that you say it, I mean, I was on the swimming team in, I guess, middle school and I mean, we don't really do middle school Puerto Rico, but the middle school, 7th to 12th grade or whatever, I was in the swim team, and I remember that everyone, like, if a boy had like a hairy back or something or a hairy chest, he'd be like. Everybody was like, "Ew, so gross."
Oh, I had the opposite reaction.
Because you don't see that. You don't see that in entertainment, and especially like in Japan, there's not a lot of body hair from what I've seen with pop stars and stuff. So it's kind of like.
That makes sense. Because yeah, it was.
What do you mean you had the opposite reaction, Christina? You were like, finally, armpit hair.
There's body hair. Oh my! I thought that's where that was going.
We all know that I love my hair. It's just like
yeah.
I'm just telling you what the reactions were in general. Like whenever a boy was spotted who had hair, it was like
oof. Okay. See, I was just anticipating a different. It's fine.
No, I wasn't okay with body hair until I became an adult. I was like, just like not into it. Because boys shaved their legs and stuff when I was in high school. So
yeah, and then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah.
No, but like boys were getting their eyebrows did and their legs shaved. So it's kind of like, so I got used to seeing that, and then it's not a thing almost in a lot of other places. So it was like,
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. I found a nice middle ground though, because Ivan's got a lot of chest hair, but he doesn't really have that much back hair. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. Like I can work with this. This is okay. I'm not overwhelmed.
Cool.
All right, Christina, how did you? Oh wait, Andrea, any additional thoughts?
No, I mean, once we get into the questions, we can talk about it more. But just like overall, I enjoyed it. I read it super quick. I would continue reading it. I think it was a good introduction to like romance manga.
Yeah.
And it was definitely much needed after Kris's book. Like I needed that. I really did.
There were no fluids in this book at all.
0 fluids.
Just like, yeah, no, it was fine. It was perfectly chaste. But it
Yeah.
was really cute and romantic. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is not my first foray into manga. I read pretty avidly online. And I don't own as many mangas as I used to, but there's just a ton of them that I've just gone through. But I hadn't read one in a while, so I was glad to kind of like dive back in. And also, I think Andrea was reading, and I was like explaining stuff to her, so it was like really cool to like. I am by no means an expert in anything. I was just like, well, the audience is like younger girls, or if it hadn't been like this, it would have just been pretty gay, like it would have been galley. You read it like this, like follow the panels this way, and
she did guide me through it.
Yeah.
I was reading it in her room.
And so yeah, but cute. I think I would have loved to read this when we were like hardcore into volleyball in PR, like in
Oh yeah.
It took me back to like those days when it was just like our everything at school. I really liked her determination to get it done, and I liked how over the top and dramatic and serious she was about
I'm moving out.
Yeah, I'm moving out. I'm not gonna be this, and she's like 15 years old. Yeah. And then her determination to start the volleyball team at her school, and yeah, I thought it was really cute and great, and I gave it 4 stars, but I liked it pretty completely. I only give it 4 stars to see if like later on, like, okay, is this as good as it gets, or like later on, does it get even better, and like the story does it get more intense, and I feel like it laid down a lot of really cool things that I want to follow up on later, like how does the love interest develop? What happens with her mom and her family? What happens to her aunt finally go to jail for
being a pedo?
Yeah. Although my reaction to that was, Andrea was like, oh, and I was like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. This trope is turned on its head.
Every time she was on the book, I'd be like, oh my God.
I thought she was pretty funny. I guess we'll talk about it. But yeah, I really liked it. And
Kris, do you see this outfit she's wearing?
Well, that's because you work in education, and that's like not appropriate.
I was still like, oh man, this is fucked up. But I wasn't here for this silliness. Like this book was so silly.
Yeah,
I loved it.
There's like some suspension of reality going on.
Oh, for sure. So cute. All right, Tash, what did you think of your pick?
Okay, first, give him another kiss. Thank you. Okay. So I
growled.
I make my family poke Dante's cheeks and send me videos of it. It just makes me happy because I'm not there. That's the same with Indy. Okay, so I really liked this. I gave it 4 stars just because I think, like you said, this would have been a really good read when we were both still in school. And some of the drama of it would have probably appealed to me a little more at that age. Just because, everything's a drama. And oh God, everything's life or death. Yeah, like I liked the volleyball aspect of it because I'm still on my corporate volleyball team, which is really sad because it's the only way that I can play volleyball. And I haven't played for months because I hurt my feet. Oh, by the way, did I tell you guys about that? Remind me to tell you about it later.
Okay.
Podiatrist and why Tashay needs to get orthotics. But so I thought it was really cute and I liked it a lot. I liked that the plot isn't romance driven. So even though it's a romance genre manga, it doesn't really kick in until like later on, and you've kind of met the character and gotten to know her a little bit before you even introduce any sort of possible love interest, which, usually when I've experienced reading manga, and I've read, I haven't read manga in like years, but when I was younger, I was doing like Ranma, and I was doing, Tenshi, and I was doing Cardcaptor Sakura and Sailor Moon. Like I was reading all of these super gooey. There was always like romance and magic in them, but typically you met the main character, and very quickly thereafter you met the person who was going to be her love interest. So I like that here you just get a lot of main character exposure before you're introduced to the love interest. And there's also like the little twist, like who's going to be the love interest. There's, you know, a couple of different once she decides she's going to move out of her mom's house and, you know, she gets a job working at the volleyball dormitory, being kind of like a house mom to the boys, which again, she's 15, so this would never happen, but suspension of belief, you know, plot. She starts meeting all of the main dudes, and it's kind of like who's it gonna be? And you can tell who the main romance options are just because of the way they're drawn. Because if you look at the characters when they're introduced, there's always like super kind of like vague, nondescript design for the other two guys who live in the house, but then the main like two dudes who are gonna eventually vie for her attention get the longest eyelashes and most detail in their hairstyle. Like, look at him. Like, that's a boy.
Childhood like crush or whatever.
Well, he had a crush on her when they were kids, and she somehow completely just forgot that he ever existed. And meanwhile, this is one of the other boys who lives in the house.
Yeah, nothing special, nothing to see here.
Like, that's one. The other one who just kind of has bangs, and it's like, okay, like he's there. And then fucking
that you're talking about, because I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, they do. And then this dude whose hair, I'm just like, how do you get your hair to do that? I'm like, oh, okay, hey. So no, I thought it was
one of my favorite pictures, like my favorite like panels.
Yes.
That's Nobara in the front, and then two boys. I think this one back here with the bandana, that's her like love interest.
Yes.
Doing like this like hip like dance.
I love it. No.
Witch vibes, like top net, you know?
Oh, look at this one. Look at this look.
That's the one I was looking for.
It's like, what even is he doing?
I would have assumed that person was a girl.
Yeah, well, you know,
always. Again, that's how they tend to draw the characters. They're just like very feminine looking, and it's that way with like, in Cardcaptor Sakura, it was the same way. Gundam Wing, even Gundam Wing was, and it was manga and anime. All of the main characters are super tough soldiers, but they all had like eyelashes,
beautiful eyelashes.
Meanwhile, Nobara,
yeah. Yes.
She looks like she got hit by a car. This never actually happens in the story, though. But no, I liked it. I had a good time. If you do end up getting the second, you got the second one, yeah?
No, I'm going to once we are situated.
Okay. If you want to lend it to me,
yeah, we'll do like a book.
That would be nice. I'd be happy with that. Yeah. And no, it was just super entertaining. It was fun. I'm excited to kind of see where the romance goes. I want to see her actually get to play volleyball with girls and be on the girls' team and get to start playing and kicking some ass, because in this entire book, people just like keep getting in her way and do not let her play her volleyball dreams. And I love the little design in the front. Like, she's in her like super fancy outfit and she's like about to hit. She's like, volleyball. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that I paid attention to the online list of good romance mangas.
I did get the other option, but it's all Japanese. But like I'm
so glad
you don't need.
You didn't pick that one.
It's not that bad.
What do you mean it's all Japanese? You can't. Can you read it?
No, I can't. It's all.
No, but
it's in kanji.
Yeah, it's in kanji.
Within 3 pages, everybody's already naked and banging.
Okay, but that was a mature one. This is a shoujo, like for teenagers.
If I had to do that twice in a row, 2 months.
Wait, I'm gonna show you what she's talking about. It's nothing. There's nothing. There's like nipples. That's it. There's nothing. There's no dicks or butts. It's like nipples. A girl's nipples.
Oh yeah, I saw so many boobs in the Ranma comics, and I'm like, just because the character's bathing doesn't mean you need to show all their breastises. But that was my first exposure to boobs as a girl. Like, growing up, I was like 12 and my parents didn't know what kind of manga I was reading. And I'm just like, la, 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 la. And they're showing all the boobs. And I'm like, my boobs don't look like that. Is that how girls' boobs are going to look? Like, what? That's crazy. They're all so bouncy. What? female body ideals just more from the beginning. But okay, I'm glad we all liked it then. I'm glad this worked out. It was a fun.
Oh wait, no, that's the Sassy
Tash,
Trump clap.
1, Kris, 0.
It's not a competition.
Aw.
It's like I'm winning, but that's just okay. So you have some questions?
Yeah, I saved them in my notebook.
I think it would be interesting for when we do our end of the year awards, to tally up like collectively like which book got the most stars and which one got the least.
You just want to win.
No, I don't care about this. I just want to point out that Captive Desire will likely have the least amount of stars all year.
Who can say? We still have 9 more months. Something else could drastically disappoint us.
It'll probably be my pick.
Oh, no. Okay, so I have a list of people's names, but I don't think we really need them. All right, I kind of just typed this out randomly. So I said, so we are talking about how all the characters kind of look very androgynous, but what I was wondering about is kind of how you felt about the very dramatic and sort of stereotypical gender roles that are used in the book, and how you felt that affected like character development. Because one of the main conflicts in the book is really that she wants to play volleyball, and her family, her mom specifically, is very into her taking on her role as like managing this house, and it seems very forcing her to stay within the gender norms and within this like box of femininity. So, do you feel like the use of these tropes in the book did like a good job of helping the characters feel like well-rounded?
I thought it was really funny that she ran away from home because she didn't want to do all these things that her mom wanted her to do that, fall into that box, only to then be like the house mom for the boys and do those exact same things, but not get paid for it.
But she was doing it.
But yeah, I mean, I understood why she would rather do those things to get to her end game of volleyball as opposed to do those things to get to the end game of being like the #1
mistress.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird
mistress of a ryote, which is a Japanese dining establishment.
Yeah.
Hostess, really.
So I understood it, but it still annoyed me that like the house mom thing existed. The attitude of the boys annoyed me. It annoyed me that she was expected to do all of these things and also go to school. Like, I don't understand how. And like, I get that her aunt was the one who was supposed to be doing it, but how could she also do it and do her job? Like, you know what I mean? Because she was like a full-time school too. The whole thing was like weird, but I also understand that like those positions actually did exist, and I mean they still exist to a certain degree. It's just that they're not so gendered anymore. But if you still go to those residential schools, the boarding schools, you have the house parents, what they're called now. So I don't know. It didn't take away from me enjoying the book or anything. But I didn't think.
I don't think that. Okay, I think maybe maybe it'll fill out what you're trying to say. I don't think that it was intentional. Like, I think the author could have had a chance to make like a big critique about it, but didn't. It ended up just being like, oh, look at what happened, and then that's what happened. But it wasn't really clever about it. It just, I get why she would want to do these like, traditional roles, traditional jobs that a female has or whatever, because of, cooking and cleaning and doing all of that because she wants volleyball, right? That's her choice. She's doing the choice to do that. But it's still like, what else, there could have been a different challenge there. And I feel like in making her a tomboy and making her reject these female norms, but still having to make her go through all the sacrifice, kind of like undercut that whole, I'm a tomboy, I don't want to be feminine. I just want to play volleyball. I'm not super into boys, or at least like, the typical boy attitude. I'm not into that. And then having her be the house mother, it didn't feel like clever. Like it felt like it could have been clever, but it wasn't. At least it wasn't noted, at least at any point that I'm aware of. Like there wasn't anything meta about it either.
Yeah, I also didn't think that there was like this big moment where it's like, oh man, she like climbed the tallest mountain. She like got through it. Now she's like amazing.
Yeah, she took those 2 weights and climbed up the pole and proved herself.
Yeah, she didn't Mulan her way out of this.
I mean, that might come in the second book.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I just feel like in this book, all that really happened was they all hated her, and then her aunt did like the one nice thing she did in the whole book, which was say like, "Man, think of it. Like, yeah, she sucks, but like she just wants to play volleyball. Yeah. Don't you love volleyball?" And then they were all like, "Okay, maybe we shouldn't hate her that much."
And then she has that weird coma cold.
Yeah. That was strange. But I mean, whatever. They needed him to sweep her off her feet, literally. Yeah.
I kind of wish instead of her being sick, she had like a really bad period.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And he's like, "Oh my god, let me help you," because he thinks she's really sick. And then he's like, "¿Qué te pasó?" And she's like,
Yeah, and it would have made sense too. She could have been like sick and like had diarrhea. She could have had like period stomach and like horrible cramps and like.
Yeah. And then he's like, "I guess you are a girl after all."
Oh my god.
Whatever. I'm not trying to say that Crimson Hero was gonna like solve the patriarchy, but like it could have done its female characters a little bit better.
And then the title would have fit so perfectly.
Crimson. Yes. Right. Wave.
God damn it. All right. So let's move on to the next question. And this one, it isn't. This question isn't to deep dive into the aunt. The aunt is the next question. But how do you feel about the secondary female characters that were in the book? We barely kind of get a lot of screen time, so to speak, with them. We know about her sister. We know about her aunt, who we'll delve into momentarily. And then we get the other volleyball characters, but the interaction with them is kind of like I was tired of sweating, so I stopped playing. I wanted to shop more, so I stopped playing.
I wanted to know more about her mom and her sister, because, I mean, those people are really important to her. Like, she doesn't want to leave home. She leaves home because she feels like she doesn't have another choice. And I felt like her mom did all of these like really out there things. Like she actively was involved in getting the volleyball team like broken up, at the school. Like that's like a big deal. Like to say, hey, I'm gonna donate all of this money in exchange, you break up the volleyball team. Like that's a really extreme measure to take. But then when she ran away, her mom was like, okay, fine, stay there. Like, see if I care. You know what I mean? And then she just she just like gave up really easily. And I'm maybe she'll like appear more in the second book, but it was just very strange to me that a woman who would be willing to do all of that for something that she believed was the right thing to do wouldn't just like pick this girl up and like throw her in the back of whatever vehicle she was in and like just take her home.
Yeah, I wanted to know. I mean, again, I think that because it's the first one, first volume, I think that there might be more, but I definitely was thirsty for more female friendships, I guess. I don't know if that really fit in with Nobara's character though, because I think that like her first love and her best friend is volleyball. Like those are, and I do wish that we had gotten to see more of what the other team, like actual volleyball, actual girls volleyball. But I think that also speaks to, I mean, there are a lot of people that are like, I don't want to do sports because I don't want to look like too buff, I just want to get toned. I don't want to get like very muscular. And that's like definitely, I didn't think that was inaccurate. I think that that's something that a lot of like girls in high school think of sports,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's what doesn't keeps them from participating. But I wish that the girls who were into volleyball, like the captain, I wanted to be more with the old captain, because I was really intrigued by her, and I was also intrigued by her little sister. And I thought she was really cute, and I wanted to know more about her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was really, really cute.
Yeah, like I didn't understand. I mean, I get a tradition or whatever, but I'm like, you literally have a daughter who is perfect at all these things, who wants to do all of these things. Why don't you just make her the mistress? Like,
Mm. I don't know.
you know, that whatever, it isn't done. But like,
But like my eldest daughter had a traumatic brain injury and she doesn't remember how to make tea. So my youngest is gonna have to take over because this is a tea restaurant.
I mean, I think I get it. It's supposed to be, you know,
the eldest daughter takes over.
yeah, and also it's just like it's very high stakes. Like it's very, you know, all or nothing. The mom will stop at nothing to prevent her daughter from. And I always thought that she decided to leave her there because she assumed that she would fail, you know, with school and responsibility, not getting paid and not playing volleyball, like whatever. She's going to be too busy and she's going to fail. And that's why I didn't think that, you know, the mom pursued it as much. But yeah,
We'll
I
see.
don't know what's going on there. Yeah, we will see. We will see.
Well, yeah. All right, and then one last question. This is the creme de la creme. Okay, so the aunt character was an interesting one. Oh, okay.
I'm trying to see if I can. Okay, I don't want to reload the page, do I? Because like you were getting cut out, and so I thought about refreshing. But
okay.
let me see.
I kind of look like, you know, when like boys are wearing that underwear with the holes in the crotch. It's like it needs like my little half-mast little penis sticking out.
Okay, I'm gonna reload the page. Your beetle.
Dale. Refresh. Yeah.
I can't believe the last thing I heard you say was like that Indy was like the dick coming out.
But he kind of does look like it.
He does. He's like flopping out of the
he's
comforter.
Like flopping out.
Let's see. I don't know. Tosh, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Do you want me to refresh?
I mean, if you want. I mean, since we're like about halfway anyway, you can. I just felt like my Hangouts was being slow.
All right, let me try.
Does this mean I'm like touching your floppy penis?
Yeah.
Your floppy puppy penis? I'm tired.
He is really tired.
So,
Hi.
what up? I was just touching.
Yeah, I see what Andrea now that she's talking about the half mast.
No.
All right.
All right, let us have it.
Okay, so the aunt character was an interesting one. There was definitely a double standard when it came to her sexual attitude towards the young boys in the book. Usually when you get an older man in these manga and they act that way towards girls, they get, you know, someone will be like, he's a pervert, and they freak out. But she was all like, hey, let me just pull my boobs out and it'll make you feel better. Do you think that this is part of the quote-unquote harmless fun of this kind of manga, or do you think that, you know, this is the kind of thing that should probably not be used as liberally in manga anymore because it can probably be harmful to young audiences? Do you think kids are going to take that seriously?
Yes, I definitely don't joke around with that. I think that the more that time
let it out.
What?
She says let it out.
No,
I said let it.
The more the time that passes, the more like those lines get really blurred because in media we see it all the time. It's like older people with like much younger people, and then like on social media and stuff. Like it's just, I don't know. I think it would be really easy for young kids and young teens to think that that's okay or to think that that's sexy. and it's not. Like I just can't find it funny. Both because I work as a teacher and as a foster parent, it's just like it hits too close to home, and I'm just like, that's super gross, and I'm not into it at all.
I agree 100%. I really didn't think that there was any reason why the aunt character had to be sexualized to that degree. Like, it serve the story from how I saw it. Like, she could have just been ditzy and been a house mom who just didn't feel like doing it. And that's why she had her swap places.
I kind of also saw it as like they were trying to portray her as this like crazy, wild, not traditional like person, which is why she was like kind of shunned by the family. But there's like lots of ways that you can do that without having her be like, you know, inappropriate with like kids. Like she can have all the sex she wants with like people her own age.
Mm-hmm.
And
like, this is her outfit at school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like ridiculous. Like they can have her wear that same exact outfit somewhere else, and we would have the same idea of this woman who's like very provocative and obviously not going to be the best friend of the mom, who's like the total opposite, right? Like I didn't think they had to like bring it into school. Like I don't know why she's a nurse there. I don't. Like, they could have just easily had her work any other job, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, she's also a pretty shitty nurse. She like doesn't give a crap about any of these students.
She would have been fired so fast.
Christina, what do you think?
So I'm the dark horse on the topic. I agree with what you guys are saying. But I mean, I don't see the reason why she had to be flirting with her student. And that would be like...
Not even flirting. Like, the first time we meet her, she's like, oh, you have a headache. It's okay. Just rest here on my cleavage. Like...
Gotcha.
I'm going to find the picture.
It's in the beginning. You could have shown it when you were explaining it. Why are you interrupting me when I'm talking?
No,
No, I'm going to wait for you to find it.
Oh, my God. So...
When was this published? Oh, this is 2003.
Early 2000s, which will be part of my explanation once we find the pivotal.
Still,
look.
2002.
I don't...
Yeah.
Like, up here. Yeah. That's a student.
Yeah, that's completely inappropriate, and I totally agree with. Why did she have to cross that line? Why did that have to happen? I do think that the character was pretty I just thought it was an interesting way of portraying like the older irresponsible adult, you know, like we said, usually when there's like the older, like scummy older guy, like this is not cool, but it's played for laughs. And I thought that this was also done the same way. Like it's definitely played for laughs. It's definitely not appropriate, but I feel like, I'm trying to like search for my words. I just thought that she was just supposed to be like irresponsible adult, you know? And then they had her do like a whole bunch of like
she smokes
shitty
in the
things.
Nursing office.
I did think that it was funny that she's like super provocatively dressed and that, you know, she smokes, and I like that she had like this unique attitude about her that was like unlike anything else in the book. I'm not saying that it's a product of its time, but I do think that like when this was written, like that double standard is still like, hey, why not go there? Like, why not do this? Like, this will just be played for laughs, and it's like, well, actually, this is really problematic. You know, like we have male characters for doing this, and we would think this is completely disgusting and abhorrent if a boy would do it. It's not appropriate when a female character does it as well. I do think that. I was just completely surprised by it.
But I don't think the book cares about boys. Like, someone grabbed her boobs and nothing to him.
No.
If one of my kids was like, someone grabbed my boobs to see if I was a girl, that kid would have.
But that stuff happens all the time in the genre. I'm not going to say like it excuses it, but it's like, remember, like I told you that like the gender test, right? It has happened a lot where like a guy will hug.
I don't have to like it.
You don't have to like it, but I don't have to agree with your complete disdain of it. I'm just saying like that it, you know, it
happens in the storylines. Yeah.
It definitely is not cool, but it just happens. It's a thing that happens in these kinds of stories. Same as
in Ranma. In Ranma, they used to happen all the time because the whole plot of Ranma is that if he got splashed with cold water, he'd become a girl, and then he'd need to shower with hot water to become a boy. People were constantly pulling his pants and stuff down to see if he was a boy or girl, or to see if his boobs were real or not. Because and the character was 15, like he was a 15-year-old boy, but
it's not cool.
Yeah.
I just have never seen a female character this like explicitly pushing those boundaries. I thought it was like interesting to see, and I know that it was played for laughs. I just don't think it was like great, you know.
Well,
it could do so much more with her, too.
No, interesting that you say that though, because as recently as like a year and a half ago, on Riverdale on the CW, Miss Grundy's character, as adapted, Miss Grundy. No.
Yeah.
Mira, perra, said Miss Grundy.
Sorry.
In the original Archie comics, she's like an older harpy type character, and in the new interpretation they turned her into like a really young, attractive looking character. She is a teacher at the school. She has an affair with Archie's character, and that was definitely not, that was a theme that was problematic with a lot of people when it came out, because not only are you taking a character and making her kind of young and attractive for no reason, the only reason to do it is to then use it for this plot of having her have this affair with a boy, like a young male character. Again, for no real reason. There wasn't, like, there were other things you could have done with that character, but really she just sort of served the function as like a love interest unnecessarily, and to show you that Archie's like flawed too. So
Archie's a man now, you know?
He's a man now, and this is a darker interpretation of Archie, but it's like, yo, this shit happens, and when it happens, they go to jail. You go to jail. Like,
her, like, she's got a problem. Like,
yeah. She definitely had issues. Like, it's problematic, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just really surprised, and initially I was like, "What? I can't believe this!" And again, the younger kid aspect, it was like weird, and I wish that it just had her, and she was just like a shitty kind of like grown up, but that's still part in the right place. If she wanted to help out her niece.
Her niece. And then I do agree kind of with what you mentioned earlier about like it is reflective of when this was made and when this was written too, because when we were watching Dragon Ball Z, the old guys sniffing those panties, like, it's a thing that happens routinely in those cartoons, and it's kind of just like, oh, you pervert, get out of here.
That's played for laughs.
Where's Goku? Goku, let's go find someone. Put those panties down, Master Roshi. Put them down. Why are you nosebleeding?
It's not funny, but
why are you nosebleeding, Master Roshi?
Yeah, and you know what? If I'd read this when I was a kid, I probably would have not, like, this would have flown under my radar. Like, it would have been like, oh, she's, like, it would have been like, fine. I wouldn't have probably noticed it, but now it's like, whoa.
Yeah, but it's like this one over there was reading it. She'd be like, goals.
True story. True story.
No!
No! Listen here. You.
Yo te dije que tú te das a respetar.
So yeah, I knew that we were gonna talk about the mom, not the mom, the aunt. And I don't know. I'm like, want to know what's gonna happen. Like, is she gonna stay this way? She probably will, to be perfectly honest.
I feel like they'll probably have her like get a boyfriend or something, and then she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm dating him."
She does have a boyfriend, because remember when she goes over to her apartment and mom's like, "What? You think I don't have company over?" Like,
he was not a boyfriend.
Is that like she clearly has relationships with like older men too.
People of her age.
Yeah.
Bueno. It was weird. It came from a weird place.
I mean, it also, honestly, it probably is like she does that so that she gets good reviews from the students and like doesn't get fired because she's a horrible nurse.
That makes sense.
They're like, we should fire her, and the students are like, no, She's great. We love her.
We love her so much. All the girls are like, fire! All the boys are like, no.
Yeah, all the boys are like, no! And obviously they don't give a shit about the girls because they cancel girls volleyball, so they only care about the boys. Andy.
His nose is cold, I guess. Poor guy.
He's so mlemmy.
He doesn't approve of the local either.
No.
Yeah. Andy's like, no one's giving me any treats.
Yeah, but no.
All right, so final thoughts on the book. We liked it. We all had problems with the aunt character. Is a product of the time, but no one said that products that were made in 2003 shouldn't expire. So let's hope that trope is
sad, lady.
yeah. So that trope should hopefully be gone. Stop sexualizing relationships between adult women and younger boys. Entertainment industry, it's not cool.
Yeah,
it's illegal and it's damaging and it feeds to toxic masculine ideals. Cool. All right, yay!
Thanks, Taj. That was fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Ooh, got super heated. I think we're all on the same page. I just laughed.
No, yeah, me too. She's still laughing.
What?
I'm still. I thought it was funny. I know. I recognize the problems, but I thought it was funny.
No, I do too. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my god. I was like, I haven't looked at this. I was like, that's the nurse.
Yeah. Okay. So next month is. Did you want to like? And do you have any final thoughts, Tash? Or
yeah, just that it's also a reminder that as you grow, the genres you read tend to grow with you because things that you thought were important or relevant or innocuous when you were younger shift as you get older. So I can see how my taste has changed as I've gotten older. So while I really enjoyed this, it's not something that necessarily speaks to me as deeply as it would have when I was younger. I'm glad that, we're still able to enjoy these things and give ourselves a break from deeper, more intense reads.
Yeah. I mean, even so, there's always something to talk about, for real.
Yeah.
So next month we are reading Strange Weather in Tokyo by who?
Hiromi Kawakami.
Hiromi.
Do you have the book with you?
No. It's waiting for me.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Hold on. I have it. You need to see the cover. It's so cool.
All
right. Give me
in the library, and then someone put a hold on it, and I had to give it back.
Bastards. All right. Give me 15 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the same cover as the one that I had.
Probably. I mean, I don't know if there's any other additions to it.
I mean, it does look cool on Goodreads.
Now he's looking at me suspiciously. Why I reckon those guys.
Hi. Okay. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Ooh, it is the cover.
It's so cool. And yeah, it's pretty thin. So this will be a quick read too.
Yeah.
I do have to return this.
Well,
got some time.
What's this book about, and why did you pick it?
All right. So it says, and I'm not good with names, so I'm gonna say Tsukiko.
Yes.
Is that how you say it? Okay. Well, if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Tsukiko is drinking alone in her local sake bar when by chance she meets one of her old high school teachers, and unable to remember his name, she falls back into her old habit of calling him sensei.
Mm-hmm.
After this first encounter, Tsukiko and Sensei continue to meet. Together, they share edamame beans, bottles of cold beer, and a trip to the mountains to eat wild mushrooms. As their friendship deepens, Tsukiko comes to realize that the solace she has found with Sensei might be something more.
But he's not her teacher when she meets him again.
No, they're adults.
Okay.
They're adults.
No, I think he's 30 something.
Yeah, so the reason I picked it was
she's 38 and he's like 60, I think.
Yeah, like there's a big age difference, but they're both adults.
Mm-hmm.
I picked it because I was looking for a romance that I would read even if it wasn't for book club. Like a lot of the books that we read, I only read because it's book club. Like I would never pick them up otherwise. So I was trying to pick something like that. So I was looking through like random lists, and I do like Japanese literature. I don't read. Well, I used to think I read quite a bit of it, but this past year has been really all about the Nigerian literature. Yeah, it's been a very Nigerian filled year. But so I was looking at some like books in translation, and I don't know. This it looked like something I would read. It seems like it's a very character and dialogue driven book as opposed to plot, and I really like those books where like nothing really happens, but it's just like characters sitting together talking.
Oh boy.
And I also knew that Kris had like picked this like super fluid filled book, and I wanted something that was
Get over
a little more romance and a little
never less action.
Yeah. No, it seemed cute. It seemed short. It seemed like a different sort of romance than what everyone else was likely to pick. So,
and it's a translation. So
yeah, so it's in translation by a female author, so it also counts for the read harder
challenge.
Yeah, I was gonna say read harder challenge. Yeah. Yo, listen to this review. A dreamlike spell of a novel full of humor, sadness, warmth, and tremendous subtlety. I read this in one sitting, and I think it will haunt me for a long time.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it. Kris might hate it. I don't know.
No, I think I'm gonna really like it because another review. Listen to this. In quiet, nature-infused prose that stresses both characters' solitude, Kawakami subtly captures the cyclical patterns of loneliness while weighing the definition of love. I'm gonna cry, you guys.
See, this is the opposite of a Kris book. It says, "This is certainly not a wild and passionate tale of romance. Slow burn would be an understatement."
They probably only like hold hands until like
they probably
3/4 of the way through the book.
Once, guys.
Okay.
They kiss one time, but it's you know what? Sometimes the one kiss.
Also, fine if they.
That's all you need.
If it takes them 150 pages to kiss, whatever. Because the very first book you made us read for book club was like 400 pages long, and they only kissed once towards the end of it.
Yeah, the nipple book.
Truth.
The mirror of her dreams.
Oh my god.
Mirror of her dreams.
The lost hangout. Did that hangout we never like did anything
that
with?
Was the only one that we didn't air.
Yeah, I mean, I could edit it. I think I still have it.
Throwback.
Yeah.
Do a flashback Friday.
Wow. Cool. Well,
fun times.
This is good. I wanted this. I was like, I needed this weekend with like my gal pal time.
Yeah. No, I think next month will be fun.
It'll be fun.
And we'll be in the new place with the fireplace.
Yay!
Yeah, I wanted to dress up for this one, but with the moving and not having enough money to buy a costume, I just didn't.
Wait, for the next one, it says that they eat like a lot of edamame and tofu and sushi and stuff. So like,
I'm about to have sushi right now.
We should all get sushi for the next hangout and like all eat sushi while we talk about the book.
Oh, I never ate my pie.
Okay, but the pie isn't in, like, I'm just saying this one actually has a food that's like central to the plot. We can eat at the time.
But I had a pie that I this and I forgot.
Cool. When's the next hangout so I can put it on my calendar?
The next hangout is
and we'll be living in town so we can actually get it delivered.
Yeah, March 24th. So if you're made it this far, that's when our
I want to make sure.
And then so yeah, it's March 24 at 8 or 7. It's 7 to 8, but we'll figure out the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on my calendar.
The end of Q1.
Yay!
The end of Q1, and then we can start picking. Oh, I think Andrea and I already picked books.
I already picked my next one, but only because if you're a long-time viewer and you remember, what was the name of the book? It's the one with
the Ghost Bride.
The Ghost Bride. Yeah.
Is it the sequel?
No.
It's not the sequel, but it's by the same author.
Cool.
Although I read an interview with her recently where she said she was considering doing a prequel where it's like the dragon being before he meets
Oh.
Yeah, but this one is not a sequel, but it seems like it's a similar sort of vibe, and we all really like that book. So
Yeah.
I thought it would be fun to read. Like, she's only written 2 books, you know what I mean? So I think it would be cool that, like, as OLL, we have read both of her books.
Yeah. I think that's cool.
Stan her. Yes.
Loved it.
Yeah,
I support it.
This one again is like kind of historical, a little bit of romance. Like I
Cool.
remember really liking her writing. Like it was so poetic, and so I'm excited. That's gonna be my next one for Q2.
Awesome. Fuck. All right, I gotta look for a book.
No pressure. You got time. You got time. Sweats. All right. Well, let's sign up.
Right.
You can tell us about your foot issues.
Yay! Bye, internet.
Bye, internet.